Check this out. This is voice activated action camera. Action photo. Action start video. There you go. It's recording. I'm going to make it stop. Action stop shooting. There you go. It resets to 0. It means it's stopped. Camera turn off. There it goes. It shuts off. It works. This is the 8K Byroras action camera. It's 8K, but it runs at 15 frames a second. So it's not really able to capture action. But at 4K, it can do 60 frames a second and 120 frames per second for 1080p, which surpasses my current go-to, my previous go-to, which is 4K, and it does 30 frames a second at most. So when you look at the quality of the images, if you compare side to side, you can tell the difference with the higher resolution of 8K. So, I mean, if you're there recording and you don't mind the skipping and you just want the ability to crop into the video, there it is. You notice there's buttons here, right? But I was initially thinking they could be redundant because the screen is touchscreen. But what happens if, so you see how I could do that, change the photo, and I could also change the settings, and then I could also swipe. So what's the point of having this? Now, if I have this, that means I could operate this even with, this is, you see I'm pressing this is zoom in, and this is to zoom out. And it's just easier if you have gloves on, because gloves you can't use the touchscreen. So it's a nice touch. I like this redundancy. And this one, you could see if I have this recording, oh, sorry, it's in photo mode. Let me just change this to video mode. So if I am recording, you see there's a light indicator that's blinking, and then you can see that is blinking. So it gives you confirmation that it is recording. So I like that feedback, because you never know when it's recording when there's no LED lights. So you notice that this is the battery compartment, there's a tripod socket, and here is, out in the open, is the, you don't have one of those rubber flappy things that cover it, this is a mini HDMI, this is a micro USB, and that's where you put the card slot in there. So yeah, this is essentially it. Oh, it connects through Wi-Fi, and what that does is it allows you to use an app and see what's it recording live, and then you could do some controls, just like starting to record and things like that. So image stabilization, you get to turn it on and off. And the thing is, there's no image stabilization with 8K. You need to have it at, you could have it at 4K, but limited at 30 frames a second. So this is stabilized 4K footage. Anyways, let me show you the footage from this camera. So the image on the left is the 8K camera, and the image on the right is the Yi 4K camera. And I had to zoom into the 4K camera image to match the size of the 8K camera, because smaller resolution creates smaller images. You can see that the 8K camera is sharper, the higher resolution pays off, and you can tell also the lens is also doing its justice, because it could capture that sharpness. Look at the tiny words at the bottom, and it's still legible. On the lower right hand side with the Yi 4K, it's totally not legible. These are, by the way, cropped images, so at 100% for the 8K, at 200% for the Yi camera 4K. This is 4K at 60 frames a second, and I've noticed that when you use 8K footage on iMovie, it flickers. You can still watch it nicely on QuickTime, but I think the software needs to catch up with this high resolution.